The placental and fetal circulation. So this video we're going to be discussing everything physiological, mainly about the placental and the fetal circulation. Before we go on to fetal, let's first discuss about placental circulation. The placental circulation, well, where does this occur? Well, this of course occurs in the placenta. What's the main feature about this? Well, the placenta acts like a lungs. It acts as the lungs of the fetus. So it acts as a fetal lung. What's the main thing over here? Well, the main thing is that there's going to be large blood sinuses. So in the fetus, there's going to be large amount of blood sinuses, and what happens is the fetal in the sinuses, there's going to be villi from the fetus, and they're going to project into the sinuses, and then over here the small branches of the umbilical arteries and veins, and the blood mother will also be present here, and the fetal bladder and the blood mother is going to be separated by walls. Over here, oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange will occur, and between the mother and fetal blood, and it is this similar fashion of the lungs. Although the layers covering the villi are less permeable and thicker, making the nutrition exchange very less efficient. Nutrition and waste products are also going to be exchanged in the placenta. So guys, basically, if someone were to ask you what a placenta is very simple. It is a fetal lung. Over here, there are going to be blood in the placenta. There is going to be blood sinuses, and it is the maternal portion, and it is in effect it's a large blood sinus. In this part, there is going to be, in the sinuses, there is going to be villi coming from the fetus. Over here, there is going to be exchange done between the umbilical arteries, umbilical veins, and the blood and the mother blood is going to be separated by a fetal wall. And over here, the oxygen and carbon dioxide is going to be exchanged. The nutrients and waste products are also going to be exchanged over here. And anything to describe this will be it's going to be blood sinuses with villi over here exchange, and carbon dioxide exchange and occurs over here. Next thing I want to discuss about is about the fetal circulation. What is the fetal circulation? Well, it's a whole circulatory system of the fetus. So the umbilical arteries, the umbilical veins, they bring blood, and umbilical arteries, they bring blood into the arterial internal iliac arteries. So the umbilical arteries, these are branches from the internal iliac arteries, and they take blood and they deliver it to they take blood from the fetal circulation to the placenta. So how do they do this? So as we can see over here, here's a very nice picture. Basically, the fetal, imagine this as the baby in the mother, and this is everything over here is the mother side, everything over here is the baby side. So you can see there's going to be a umbilical arteries to the internal iliac arteries. They take the deoxygenated blood all the way to the mother, to the placenta, to the mother, to have all the exchange, and then the blood, it comes back it comes back in umbilical veins, and these umbilical veins will then these umbilical veins, now the whole fetal circulation starts. So oxygenated blood comes back, like I said, umbilical veins, then the blood will then enter to the inferior vena cava through the ductus venosus. So this is how the blood will enter. Now when the blood is entered the inferior cava, some of the blood will go to the blood is going to be mixed. So now it'll be 66% saturated, and blood will go to the right atrium, and then to the right atrium, and to the blood will go to the travels to the right atrium, or the right atrium, or the portal and systematic system. And now over here, the right atrium, it can go to the from the right atrium. There's two options, and the first option is it can go to the foramen ovale. So we'll go from here to the left ventricle. That's more common, but let me talk about the least common one first. So it can go to the right ventricle. From here, right ventricle, it can go to the pulmonary artery, to the lungs of the fetus. That's option number one. Option two number is, like I said, foramen ovale. From the foramen ovale, it goes to the left atrium. Now, where does the blood pass? Well, whatever does travel from the right ventricle to the pulmonary trunk, well, that's going to be diverted by what, you might ask? Well, that's going to be ductus aortus. Ductus aortus, where is that located? Well, as you can see, that it is from the pulmonary trunk and goes into the aorta. And now once the blood's going to be in the aorta, what's going to happen then? Well, like I said, there's going to be a shunt over here, which is going to be known as a ductus aortus. And then what happens over here, about only 10% of the blood enters the pulmonary circulation, because as we know, the placenta is already a fetal lung, so 10% enters the fetal circulation, and the aorta goes to supply the head region, the trunk region, and the lower bone of the body. So now, how about fetal respiration? Well, fetal bloods, they have less 2,3-diphosphorylglyceride. So when they have less of that, they have much more high affinity to it. So 2,3,5-diphosphorylglyceride is basically like a spine to oxygen. If you have more of it, you're not going to get that much. If you have more of it, that means you have less affinity for oxygen. But if you have a lot of it, that means you're going to, if you have a lot of it, you're going to have less oxygen, but you have more, but if you have less of it, you're going to have more oxygen. So in this scenario, the fetal respirating, their red blood cells have HbF, hemoglobin F, which contains less 2,3-diphosphorylglyceride, which means they'll have more affinity to the oxygen compared to normal hemoglobin A. Changes that occur in the birth, but there's going to be 3 changes that occur to the heart regions and 4 changes that occur in the respiratory regions. First one, the heart, the right atrium and the right ventricle and the left ventricle, the right left and right hump, they pump in parallels instead of series. And the ductus aortus, it can placenta. The ductus aortus, it constricts. So the ductus aortus, which I was showing you guys over here, this will constrict. So does ductus venosus. The pressure in the aorta rises, and it exceeds that of the pulmonary artery. And it rises. The pressure in the aorta rises until it is excess pressure in the pulmonary artery. The first gaps expands the lungs into thoracic pressure is marked as negative. Pulmonary vascular resistance fall. The first gaps and the pulmonary circulation is cut to peripheral resistance rises. Left arterial pressure increases, a closing of foramen, and it pushes the valve against the interarterial septum. So guys, these were the to give you so this was the whole thing, and placenta fetal circulation. Hope you guys like. Please do like, subscribe, and hope to see you guys next time. Hope to teach you guys something next time.